Level 1, the runner. You're 19 years old. You work at a fast food restaurant 4 days a week, making $11 an hour. You share a one-bedroom apartment with 2 other guys, and you can barely cover your share of the rent. One of your roommates doesn't work, but he always has cash, new sneakers, a new phone every few months. One night he shows you he's got 40 credit card numbers on a laptop, names, addresses, CVVs, everything you need to buy something online as someone else. He bought the whole list off of a Telegram channel for $200. He orders laptops, phones, AirPods, ships everything to vacant houses, picks it up before anyone notices, flips it online for half the retail price. He teaches you. Your first week, you make $1,000, more than 2 weeks of flipping burgers. Your hands shake the first time you type in a stolen number. By the 10th, it feels like a video game. You make $1,500 to $2,000 a week. You quit the restaurant. You tell your mom you got a remote sales job. It's stolen money, but nobody around you knows that yet. Level 2, the caller. 6 months pass. One of the guys you sell to introduces you to a man named Victor. Victor runs a boiler room out of a rented office suite in Fort Lauderdale. 14 desks, 14 phones. A whiteboard with a leaderboard on the wall. Victor sells penny stocks. Companies that don't really exist. A website, a logo, and nothing else. Your job is to call people. 200 calls a day. You have a script. You have a fake name. You're Michael Tanner from Patriot Capital Advisors. You tell retirees and small business owners that this stock is about to explode. None of it is true. You're 20. You make $3,000 a week in commissions. The top closer pulls $8,000. You watch him work. He never raises his voice. He finds the fear of missing out, fear of dying broke. Then he sells. You learn that the pitch isn't about the stock, it's about the dream. The bigger the lie, the easier it is to believe. Level 3, the closer. You're 22. You're the top name on Victor's whiteboard. You close 30% of your calls. The average sits at 12. Victor gives you the premium leads. Doctors, dentists, people with $50,000 to $200,000 in liquid savings. You make $10,000 a week. You move into a high-rise, lease a BMW, wear a $4,000 watch. Clients need to believe you're making money, so you make sure you look the part. A retired teacher in Ohio sends you $80,000, her entire savings. She calls 3 times a week to check on her investment. You tell her it's doing great. The stock is worthless. The company behind it is a P.O. box in Delaware. When the price dumps, she'll lose everything. You know this. Your stomach turns the first time you lie to her. By the 4th call, it doesn't. You take another call. Level 4, the operator. You're 24. Victor gets raided by the SEC. 2 agents walk in on a Tuesday and take the hard drives. Victor disappears to Costa Rica. Half the guys scatter. Your buddy Marcus doesn't make it. He gets arrested in the parking lot. He calls you from county. He's crying. He's 21 and looking at 8 years. You hang up. You change your number. You leave Florida that night with 2 duffel bags and $40,000 in cash. 3 months later, you open your own shop. Strip mall in Scottsdale, Arizona. New name, new LLC, 10 callers. Kids mostly. Hungry. Broke. Just like you were. You run a pump and dump. You buy 2 million shares of a shell company at a penny each. Total cost, $20,000. Your callers push the stock. The price climbs from a penny to 80 cents. You dump. Profit? $1.6 million. The stock crashes to nothing. You run 3 of these your first year. You clear $4 million. You open offices in Boca Raton and Salt Lake City. 35 callers across 3 locations. You cycle company names every 90 days. By the time the SEC catches a scent, you've burned the identity and moved on. You check your rearview mirror every time you leave a parking lot. You don't sleep too well anymore, but you've got $6 million in offshore accounts and a condo on the beach. Level 5, the launderer. You're 27. You've got a problem. $6 million you can't explain to the IRS when your tax return shows $48,000 a year. You meet a man named Gerald at a poker game in Vegas. Licensed CPA. Pressed shirt, soft hands. He slides you a napkin with a number on it. You call it from a burner phone the next morning. He picks up on the first ring. Gerald takes you to a storage unit off the interstate. You hand him $500,000 in a duffel bag. He doesn't count it. He weighs it. "This will take a week," he says. "Don't call me. I'll call you." 7 days later, you're sitting in a lawyer's office in Wyoming signing paperwork for 8 LLCs you've never heard of. Gerald hired runners to deposit $8,000 to $9,000 at a time into 15 bank accounts, always under the $10,000 reporting threshold. They call it smurfing. Then he wired the money between shells. A consulting firm in Wyoming pays a holding company in Nevada, which pays an import business in Miami that doesn't import anything. The money moves so fast through so many accounts that it becomes a ghost. It comes back as profit from a car wash you've never visited and a laundromat you've never seen. Gerald charges 8%. Within a year, you own 3 businesses: a restaurant, a vape shop, a parking lot. None are profitable, all are funnels. You pay taxes like a normal person. Gerald tells you something you never forget. The IRS doesn't care how you make it. They care that you pay your share. You pay your share. The bigger the lie, the easier it is to believe. Level 6. The architect. You're 31. You're done with boiler rooms. Too messy. Too many 21-year-old callers getting arrested and cooperating with the FBI. You start a hedge fund. Real office, real lawyers. You register with the SEC. You promise 12% growth annually. Nothing flashy, just good enough to keep people quiet. The first year, you actually trade. You make 6%. You report 12%. The difference comes from new investor deposits. Classic Ponzi scheme. 3 years in, you're managing $80 million. You've got an auditor. Small firm, 1 partner. He doesn't look too closely. You pay him well not to. A dentist from Connecticut invests $2 million. He flies down to visit your office. He wants to meet the team. You shake his hand. You show him the trading floor. 6 guys staring at Bloomberg terminals. Half of them are temps you hired yesterday. He leaves impressed. He tells 4 friends. They each invest $1 million. You send them monthly statements showing trades that never happened on accounts that don't exist. You donate to charities. You sit on a nonprofit board. People call you a financial genius. But the math is a ticking clock. You need $2 million a month in new deposits just to keep the lights on, and you can hear that clock every time the phone rings. Level 7. The insider. You're 35. A tech founder you laundered money for introduces you to a CEO who needs a CFO. Not a clean one, a creative one. The company is real. The product is real. The stock price needs help. You merge your fund into the company. Stock options, board seat, corner office on the 31st floor. Your first week, the CEO takes you to dinner. He orders a $400 bottle of wine and leans across the table. I need Q4 revenue to say $260 million. It's $190 million. He doesn't blink. You don't either. You start small, recognize revenue early, pull Q1 sales into the previous fiscal year, capitalize operating expenses instead of expensing them, park debt in special purpose entities off the balance sheet. Each trick is borderline legal in isolation. Together, they paint a picture of a company that doesn't exist. The stock hits $52. The CEO cashes out $18 million in stock. You cash out $7 million. Employees celebrate. They think their stock options will pay for houses. They don't know the revenue is a mirage. You chain smoke now. You drink black coffee at 3 a.m. staring at Excel files. You know how this ends. You've seen the movie. Belfort thought he was untouchable too. You swore you'd never be this person. Level 8. The Titan. You're 42. The stock is at $74. The company is valued at $6 billion. You're worth over $120 million on paper. You've spoken at Davos. Senators return your calls. Your name is on a hospital wing. The real number is 0. It's been 0 for years. Debt hidden across 40 shell entities in 6 countries. Contracts that were never signed. Customers that don't exist. The auditor knows. He stays quiet because you pay his firm $12 million a year. You don't sleep. You take pills to function and pills to stop. Your hands shake too much to drive. Your wife left 2 years ago. Your kids are at boarding schools across the country. They don't call. You eat dinner alone in a 12,000 square foot house where every room has a view and none of them feels like home. A junior analyst in your accounting department finds a discrepancy. $47 million that doesn't add up. She files an internal report. That report hits the board. The board calls the regulators. Federal agents start pulling 7 years of records. Your attorney calls on a Thursday afternoon. 2 words. It's over. Level 9. The end. The indictment drops on a Monday morning. 47 counts. Wire fraud, securities fraud, money laundering, conspiracy. Your face is on every news channel. The trial takes 8 months. Former employees testify. Your old auditor cuts a deal and tells them everything. The retired teacher from Ohio takes the stand. She's 74 years old. She lost her house. She lives with her daughter now. She doesn't look at you. The jury deliberates for 6 hours. Guilty on all counts. 25 years. Federal prison in Connecticut. The food is bad. The beds are worse. A guy 2 cells down ran a crypto exchange. Another one cooked the books at a hospital chain. You play cards with them in the yard. Nobody talks about what they did. You have a lot of time to think. About the teacher in Ohio. About Marcus crying on the phone at 21. About every quarterly report you signed knowing the numbers weren't real. Outside, nothing changes. Somewhere in Fort Lauderdale, there's a rented office suite with 14 desks and 14 phones. There's a whiteboard with a leaderboard on the wall. There's a kid sitting at one of those desks. He's 19. He's got a script and a fake name and a list of numbers to call. He's nervous. His hands are shaking. They won't shake for long. The money isn't real, but nobody knows that yet, and the cycle continues.